Hey there, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments. So I have a word for you today. And the message that I received was actually a vision that I saw. And in it, it is saying, speak to your block, right? Your blockage. What is holding you back? Now I'm going to read because I did type this out. This message that I received at 3:24 a.m. Central Standard Time on the day that I received it. Dates and times are not necessary, but I needed to share that number with you because maybe it resonates. Anyway, so in the vision, there was a wall in all things that you tried, right? Every effort, every attempt, all of those things, you came across a wall all of a sudden. And you attempted everything you could, go around, go over it, push it, yell at it, pretend it wasn't there, right? Yet God said you must speak to it. Have a gentle conversation with your block as you would a friend. Seek understanding and resolution as opposed to trying to force your way through it, over it, under it, all those different types of things, right? Why are you here? Now, this is the conversation to have with that block. Now, when I say a block, I'm talking about a blockage, right? A mental block, a physical block, a heartfelt, emotional block, all of these different things. Because what I receive is that we have the propensity, the habit as a being, right? Especially when you're stubborn, right? When you have that hard head and maybe you grew up in like a traumatic situation where you knew that you had to fight your way to get out of things. So what I receive is that you've moved away from that space and place, right? Now you have entered into a newfound safety and comfort, right? However, you're used to addressing things all the same way with that stubborn, that hard-headed, locking horns type of response, but that's no longer working for you. So now what God is saying is that you have to take a step back and reassess how you've been addressing things, right? And so what you can say is, why are you here to this blockage? Yes, it may feel silly, but here's the thing. Sometimes in healing, we have to allow ourselves to feel silly. We have to allow that cringe into our lives because that's the very thing that will get us beyond the place and space where we feel like we've been stuck at, right? So how can I help you to that blockage? What is it that you need to that blockage? Whether you're talking to an actual stance, whether you have writer's block. What is it that I need? What do I need? Whether you feel like you've reached an educational blockage where you can no longer grow any further. What do you need? And then listen, right? Because maybe it'll say you're looking in the wrong direction. Maybe you need to shift your focus. Maybe you've been putting all of your energy, all of your stamina, all of your everything into one direction when God, Gaia, universe, angels, and saints are telling you to move a completely different one. So you have to also know whether you've been rejecting and abusing that gift that you've been given, and that's why you've been given a blockage. How can we change our dynamic? How do we heal and dissolve these blockages, right? How am I seeing you because I've been forcing myself down a path that was never meant for me? If so, how do I get back on track? Now, these are the questions that you can ask yourself. Whether you sit crisscross applesauce in silence in a form of meditation, whether you just have this conversation within yourself as you do those mundane tasks that you typically have to do, whether that be laundry, dishes, cleaning, whether that be just something that you're so used to doing that it comes naturally through muscle memory. Those are the best times to have these internal conversations and these dialogue, because whether you believe that you're talking to your higher self, to God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints, this is what allows that space and opportunity for you to get out of your own way and to present these questions to the higher beings that you believe in, because it's all true, right? If you believe in it, it's your truth. To have that conversation and to open up that dialogue to allow you, even if it's just one singular response that you receive, then that gives you the first step that you need to get away from that blockage that maybe you've even created for yourself, right? Lead through curiosity and revelation will come time and time again. Don't have that presumptuous response already prepared or planned, right? So you're asking the question. It's kind of like when you have a conversation with someone and you ask this question, and in your mind, you've already plotted their response. And then sometimes they say the exact same thing, which reinforces that notion of mind reading, right? Like, I knew you were going to say that, right? Because sometimes, yes, people do have predictable behaviors and responses. However, when it comes to conversations with the universe, God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints, you have to remove that presumption out of the way and allow space for receiving, right? Remove the horns. You don't have to lead through force anymore. You are safe and secure, and this is your time. But you won't be able to see that if you don't change the lens through which you view and the path by which you walk. Right? So I hope you're picking all of this up, because if this resonates, then that means it is in fact for you. And this is me being a channel for divine downloads and words that will go to you, so that way you can take some essential steps towards your healing, towards your ascension, whether it be that you feel stuck. Maybe you feel like you are starting to shift off into complacency where you no longer feel satisfied. That feeling of dissatisfaction, that feeling of dis-ease, that feeling of pain, it's almost like an emotional and sometimes even physical pain of, here we go again. When you start to get into that type of hell loop, then that is your surefire sign that God, ancestors, angels, and saints are saying there is more for you. However, it is up to you to use your free will, to use your abilities, your gifts, and all of those things to not necessarily pave the entire way. You're not the GPS system in your car, right? We're not able to pull up the directions and see all the steps, right? But we will be able to see maybe that next step. Right? Maybe even if we don't see that next step, what I received to tell you is that sometimes it's just a matter of getting moving. Once you get that momentum, whether it be to get up from the couch, whether it be to go outside and take in some fresh air, regardless of what that looks like for you, once you get that forward momentum, that trajectory towards the direction that you want to go, then all things will be revealed. Whether that be you coming across a new potential friend that just says hello to you and you strike up a conversation, and then you just happen to find out that you guys have interest in the same thing, or maybe they have a business that is in direct alignment with where you want to be. However, if you stay in that seat of complacency, if you allow those blockades and blockages to basically rule your realm of existence, then you cannot continue to expect and anticipate growth when you refuse to move. Because I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, and that's it.